Good morning, everybody, and welcome along to our Sunday coverage from the Motul Sports Car Grand Prix. And we kick things off on a day where all of our broadcasts will bring you competitive racing. And we are welcoming you in for the Ford Mustang Challenge from Road America. What a beautiful day to have you back here in our Ford Mustang Challenge Racing, brought to you by Ford, built Ford proud. I'm John Hindhaugh in the Ford Performance Global Broadcast Centre, and Peter Mackay is alongside me as we're getting ready for another challenge, as the 19 cars that we have here today will once again at just after 8 o'clock, 8:15 in the morning here Central Time, provide the most glorious sonorous alarm call for all of the campers here. It was an interesting race yesterday. We'll give you some of the details for that in the moment, but let's remind you where we are. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, beautiful part of the world. What, a couple of hours, maybe a little bit more north of Chicago, hour or so up from Milwaukee, just over 4 miles around. Turn 1, well, we saw some passing there yesterday, side-by-side action. Turn 5 with some action as well, and not of the good kind for Sam Paley in particular. We'll follow that story up in the moment. And then down at Canada Corner, from where it is all uphill to the start-finishing line. Action all the way through. The story of yesterday was the story of the year. Robert Noaker on pole position, fastest lap and the win, which he has done more times than enough this season. He's yet to be anywhere else other than the top step. Let's just remind you what happened in an incident-packed race yesterday. And the drama started right at the beginning. The blue and white 13 of Robert Noaker from pole position. He got away fine, and it was just as well. All of the incidents happened behind him, with Sandy Sotelo getting sideways and unfortunately bumped into a couple of other cars. But watch the silver car coming through there, the number 48. Incredibly managed to miss everybody. Well done to Zachary Lee for missing that one. Devin Anderson having a little bit of a go round the outside at turn 7 in the number 22. Didn't quite make that and ripped off the front underneath his car. Joe Daedrix going for a spin at the exit of turn number 14. He managed to recover a little bit of damage on the rear. Then the big one for Sam Paley down at turn 5. Not sure what it was, looked like a stuck throttle, but certainly the rear wheel still spinning as he went in. That brought out the yellow, and Sam was fine. The car, well, we'll wait to see. Follow up that story in a moment. Checkers under caution, and first and second were the two class winners. Robert Noaker extending his championship lead in the Dark Horse class. In the Legend, it was the number 33, Alex Bachura, who came through second overall and holds a very solid position in the overall championship. Peter Mackay alongside me. Drama of the kind we didn't want to see yesterday, but Robert Noaker's got to do it again from pole position with Devin Anderson alongside him.
And well, one of the big stories overnight, of course, is Sam Paley having to start all the way in the back of the grid after a chassis change yesterday, after that big incident at turn 5. Likewise for Alfonso Diaz, has got to start in the back as well, also having to change chassis after yesterday. So it's been a tough weekend, and you know, Sam Paley is, you know, loss of points yesterday and having to cut his way through the pack. He's going to probably hope for some safety car, I think, to keep shuffling forward, I reckon.
It's going to be entertaining for us, and we'll be keeping an eye on Sam. No time to do I might just get time to do the full grid. So it's Colin Harrison and Sam Paley at the back of our grid, brought to you by Ford Performance. Then Alfonso Diaz and Joe Daedrix, Nick Smithers and Scott Thompson on row number 7. Stephen Veja on the inside of row 7, then Drew Nobile and Paolo Salvatore on row 6, Tom Tate and Doug Peterson on row 5, Corbin Collins on the outside of row 4 with Zachary Lee in that all-silver car on the inside. Then Tate Pritt on the outside of row 3 with Alex Bashura, the best of the Dark Horse legends. He'll want to go forward from there. Top 2 rows, Marcus Vento in 4th, Sandy Sotelo in 2nd, and on the front row, as we've mentioned, the Tech Sport driver Devin Anderson in the number 22 will be looking to get round the outside of Robert Noaker Racing. Perfect this season in the Ford Mustang Challenge, the number 13, once again on pole position. Beautiful lineup as we come to the green flag with 45 minutes on the clock. Let's fingers crossed for a better start than yesterday. The pole man gets away nicely with Sandy Sotelo following him through after yesterday's problems for that number 7 car. The Robert Noaker team will go into the first corner first and second. Robert just sort of defends the outside there, maybe to help Sandy. This is a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday, but everybody gets through with Alex Bashura making a good run from 5th into 4th. So the inside lane, the odd-numbered lane behind the pole sitter Robert Noaker, got the best start through turn 1, 2 and 3 under the Sargento Bridge. We have all 18 cars, with Colin Harrison having not started in the Tech Sport car, Peter, and that at least gives us the run down to turn 5, another action area, but everyone at the moment still running with just on 44 minutes to go.
Biggest braking zone on the circuit here, 150 miles an hour. They hit the brakes there and down the manual gearbox. H-pattern shifts here with rev matching, which all of the top drivers are using them as well. You hear the little pop and bang from the Borla exhaust. That's that rev matching option there, working really, really well. As Sam Paley having to make moves early. He's already made 4 or 5 positions for the back of the grid, and he's got to get a move on early. Oh, problem for Sotelo again. What's happened to Sandy Sotelo? He's going slow. Many cars running past him. What has happened to number 7, the white and red car of Sandy Sotelo?
He's not having the weekends that he was hoping for. I think that's dead stick. I actually think that's dead stick. The guys have done a fabulous job from Crowned Eagle Racing and Robert Noaker to get that car going. It was severely damaged on the rear end, and one of the Borla exhaust mufflers is hanging down a little bit more than the other. Well, he's maybe got some power from the V8 now, the Coyote V8.
He got bumped by Marcus Vento. Marcus Vento ran into the back of him.
Well,
the 18 car.
And that would explain why the exhaust on the left-hand side then is hanging a little bit lower. So the man who started on the front row, on row 2, but got up into second place, has now dropped all the way down the field. 2 different classes here, Dark Horse and Dark Horse Legends. The Legends for drivers who have a little more experience of life, is the way I like to put it. I'd be solidly in the Legends, not for my legendary status at all, but for my advanced years. Robert Noaker then with a 1.025 second lead at the end of the first lap, down the inside, as Sandy Sotelo has got going again, and he's lost 21 seconds there. So just finish my thought there. The passing going on of Tom Tate by Tate Pritt and Paolo Salvadore. That's the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. Tom Tate, the competition motors number 8, the multicoloured Mustang, just lost a couple of places there, and now it's side by side with Tate Pritt and number 26 of Sam Paley, that is, coming through. My apologies. Sam Paley, remember, who started at the back because of that chassis change after that huge incident at turn 5 yesterday, really underlining the safety and strength of these cars. They are based on the Ford Mustang Dark Horse street car, Peter, but absolutely no concessions made when it comes to safety, no corners cut, the full roll cage, the strengthening, etc., as one would expect for a series that runs with IMSA. And these are exactly the same cars actually that run in the Mustang Cup, which is the entry-level version. You can share a car in that series over in SCCA. In 2 races, 2 practice sessions, 2 qualifyings, 2 racings on 2 days of a race meeting, normally Saturday and Sunday. and it can be two different drivers across the weekend. One races in the race one in the race two. And recently announced is the Ford Mustang Cup for Australia, which will be debuting next year, just extending the global reach of what is, of course, Ford's only now global car. Everything else is crossovers, SUVs or trucks. Air Paley coming through the field, already up to 11th, and coming through the field and make that 8th position now in that red, white and blue, number 26. Well, we said it was bad news for him, Peter. Good news for us. This is the entertainment we were hoping for, as Sam Paley goes past the number 84 of Torre Racing's Paolo Salvatore, and he's charging towards a top 6 finish or better.
I think right now is probably where Sam Paley would like to see a short safety car come out, so because the fast guys at the front have just made a little bit of a breakaway, unfortunately. But Sam Paley's been doing a great job for the Ford Performance Junior driver, now up into he is now 7th. Into 7th place. Yes, he got past the 84 car of Salvatore, so 7th place. Great run so far from Sam Paley, doing everything he can. I mean, yesterday, from what we could see, that accident was not his fault at all. Seemed to be some sort of technical problem that caused the accident. So he's doing everything that he can right now. But likewise, Robert Noaker at the front of the field, it just continues his imperious run. He's 1.9 seconds to the good out front at the moment.
Yeah, and great work by the team to get the spare car out. Track limits penalty warning early, very early, for Tate Pritt in the automatic racing number 98 car. Yeah, Sam did everything he could to mitigate the potential of that horrible looking accident. He must have realised pretty early on when he went to the brakes and went to change down that the car simply wasn't slowing down. If anything, it was getting faster in what is probably one of the, if not the heaviest braking area on this circuit, and therefore probably in IMSA competition. Long run from turn 3 all the way through the kink at turn 4 to a downhill braking area at 5. He pitched the car to the left, and we've got a car in the wall, and that's Nick Smithers, the Nick Smithers Racing number 58. That's Canada Corner, and this is exactly what Sam Paley would have been hoping for, as mentioned by Peter Mackay. Full course yellow with the Mustang buried in the baled tyre barriers, and he's just gone straight on as well. Too much speed, couldn't get the car slowed down and get the car turned at the same time. Well, if you have competed on this game, on this track in any form of game, platform or simulation, we have all missed our braking point into Canada Corner with varying degrees of impact. However, in this case, there's no Control, Alt, Delete or Reset button. And I'm afraid that will be the end of the day for Nick Smithers in that number 58. Had a good run yesterday in the Dark Horse Legends. We've got the Dark Horse safety car out to pick up Robert Noaker, who's stretched to just on 3 seconds, a little bit more than that. But here is Sam Paley's chance for more positions. In fact, actually, he was catching Corby Collins anyway. But we have got 2 Dark Horse Legends in the top 5 as well at the moment, with Alex Bashura in 3rd in the 33, the olive grey car, and Zachary Lee in that silver bullet, the mirror finish number 48. But now we're going to have to keep on an eye on Sam Paley from the restart onwards, Peter, because this is manna from heaven from him.
It is. It brings him right back into the game, and he really earned those positions in the opening minutes of the race, getting through the field quickly and safely. And that means then when this full course cautions come out, he's now in a position where he can really make moves and actually get a great result out of this from the back of the grid. I mean, what is possible? I think a podium is very much possible for Sam Paley, and you got to think he's got to be riding on a crest of a wave. Like yesterday will be a distant memory now after the start of the race he's had.
That's a really good point. Racing drivers like Sam, who is an aspiring young pro, have to learn very quickly to compartmentalise sometimes from corner to corner, never mind from day to day. Looks like the flatbed, the rollback has been called for by the EMR safety team, so probably a little too much damage for that car to be towed into a place of safety down at Canada Corner at turn 12. And while they're disconnecting the tow hitch, they've managed to get the car extricated from the tyres. Still very much breakfast time here at Road America. Good morning to those of you who have spent the last few days here. And apparently Brian Till has been influencing some of the beverages. Our colleague over at NBC Sport, who is calling the race, the big race, the Motul Sports Car Grand Prix for NBC Sports in the States today. If you're outside the US, then you'll get Ryan Marine, myself and Arjuna Kankapati. And I've got a feeling it's going to be a cracker. If you weren't with us in qualifying yesterday, you can relive that on the IMSA YouTube channel or on the archive at RS2 at imsaradio.com. Suffice to say that we were talking fractions of a second on a 119 second lap. And when I say fractions of a second, the top three, and I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it because it's worth looking at, the top three were separated by under 1/10 of a second. Quite extraordinary. That to come. That's our feature Sunday race today, which we will round off our cover, with which we will round off our coverage later on. One or two F1 fans keeping up, I think, with the Hungarian Grand Prix as well, which I'm going to play catch-up on the DVR later on. We've already had Rally Finland, which Peter and I were glued to, and that was a stunning finish as well. Again, no spoilers, but that championship season about to go off into South America. And Peter, you're going off for the Chile round, and it's boiling up nicely.
It is, yeah, and great to see Ford Performance involved with the M Sport team, with their Ford Pumas, with really backing young talent and giving them an opportunity to get to the top level of the World Rally Championship. Ford have been an ever-present figure in World Rallying kind of since the beginning, really, since the inception of the championship over 50 years ago. But they, young drivers like Martin Sesks and Josh McAleen, the young Irish driver, did a great job actually this weekend. Very, very new to it, and to get on case with the drivers who've done it for 10 or 15 years in some cases, very impressive. But that's a kind of global reach that Ford Performance has now. You think it reaches into Formula One, and that tentacle will reach much, much deeper next year with powering the Red Bull team with Ford powertrains, but also at Le Mans. I mean, to see a Ford top line, factory effort at Le Mans. When was the last time we saw that? GT40 for the top class?
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's a long time.
It is a long time ago. The hard-working EMR safety teams, the Road America track crew, and all of our marshals working well. Sam Paley with his fans here trackside, and he has been the story of the first 9 minutes of green flag racing, 3 laps of green flag racing, and he's come from the back of the field in the replacement chassis for Paley Motorsport, the number 26 car, imperiously working his way through the field with very, very clean manoeuvres down to turn 3 on Tom Tate early on, and then with the little bit of an aerodynamic advantage on Paolo Salvatore into turn 1, but not a hint of hip and shoulder. He has made his way from the back of the grid all the way up to 7th position, and now with a great opportunity, Peter, to go even further forward from there. Now, the point we should make, Peter, is the overtakes get harder from now on, with due deference to some of the drivers he's driven through. Sam is quicker than those drivers, and particularly some of the Dark Horse legends. Right now, he's getting into challenging for the top 6, and the top 6 aren't there by accident.
No, they aren't. Yes, you're spot on there that it does get more difficult the further you get up the field. So I think the rolling start's got to be really, really important. And we saw it at the beginning of the race where Sandy Sutulo battling away with Devin Anderson. Devin Anderson got a little bit of a steady getaway. He managed to recover, but it put him on the back foot a little. So the rolling start, Sam Paley's got to get this perfect. And there's a couple of great opportunities to make moves. I mean, I think turn 5 is your best opportunity down the hill. It's the longest braking event of the track. So that's where he's got to think about. I tell you what, I'm so impressed, John, how many fans are up bright and early this morning. 8:35 local time. And what a family-friendly event to come here. The whole family coming along, including furry friends. I was very pleased to see a couple of golden retrievers running about in a safe space. I must admit, well out of the way of the racetrack, but they are here to come and take part. And not everywhere in the world can you do that.
No. Indeed not. I have to say, if you're on-site camping, and many of the very loyal and enthusiastic supporters of IMSA will be doing exactly that. It's pretty hard to have a lie-in on a Sunday morning with something in the region of, what did we start, 18 cars. So that's over 9,000 horsepower with those rumbling V8s. That is going to be difficult to sleep through, to be fairness. But to be fair, but as I said, what a great way to be woken up on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, Borla definitely make the best alarm clocks.
Borla and Ford Coyote together.
Exactly, it's a perfect combination. That's the alarm clock you need here at this. And what a place to wake up to. I mean, the National Park of Speed, I think that's a great name for Road America. It's a wonderful facility, and it still follows the same layout that it did in 1955. You know, it's what's that now? 70th anniversary of Road America, and cut into the glacial Kettle Moraine area, and with motor racing here ever since. It's got one of the richest heritage of really any racetrack in the world, actually, certainly in North America.
1955 opened to basically to take the racing off the streets. There'd been a few years of racing around the local roads, which, as you can imagine, in the late 40s, early 50s, was quite dangerous, and there was quite a bad accident, which basically focused everybody's mind on thinking, right, we really should take this off the road. And what the good burghers of Road America, they wanted to do was to mimic the character, the atmosphere of the country roads around here, and they absolutely have done that. Let's just remind everybody, Sam Paley is driving a spare car this weekend, and it is the spare car from Robert Noaker Racing. Fabulous camaraderie in the paddock. This is Paley, who is racing for a championship against Robert Noaker and against some of his other drivers, but without the opportunity to have the normal number 26 repaired. Slightly different livery for Sam then, in that stripy Ford Performance driving school livery, racing school livery. That is a Noaker racing car that has been loaned to Sam Paley by RNR, and that is the type of respect that people have for their competitors here.
Not many other places would you get that than certain racing paddocks. That is great camaraderie, and from one Ford Performance Junior to another.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And thanks to Chris Ward, who is the doyen of all things Ford single manufacturer racing, Ford GT racing, who has plotted up at Road America for at least a couple of weekends before he goes to VIR. He's on the road trip of a lifetime at the moment. Thank you, Chris. Good morning to you. As we go back to green with just on 26 minutes still remaining. And Robert Noaker looks like he's been shot out of a steam catapult from the deck of an aircraft carrier. He absolutely nailed the restart and takes a half-second lead, which is big, into turn 1. Down the inside, Devin Anderson and Alex Bashura scrabbling it out with the lighter coloured car of Devin just holding sway there over the green number 33, who is the Dark Horse Legends leader. Where did Sam Paley get to? He was 7th across the line. He's already up to Zachary Lee. That's the battle for 5th. They're side by side, so Corbin Collins has been dispatched by the charging Paley, who for the moment has dropped in behind the silver bullet number 48. Flashing of the headlights, which everybody knows gives you at least 5 horsepower more. Kidding. Down the inside of turn 5, that has become a Paley signature move in race 2, and you've got to give him some credit here, Peter, for the mindset. You mentioned it earlier on. That's where he had the big accident yesterday. He's still the last of the late breakers there today. That's confidence in the car and in himself.
And it's such a great spot to try and make the move, because you're slowing the car down from 150 to 50 miles an hour. And here's another one coming down into hurry downs, and Alex Bashura doesn't fight it too hard, gives the racing space, and Paley comes through like a steam train. He's now up into 4th position, and his next target is Marcus Vento. The podium is absolutely on here for Sam Paley. We've still got 24 minutes left. But as we mentioned, every car that he gets to is going to be slightly more difficult to overtake than the last one, and all the while Robert Noaker is just relentless, ruthless at the front of the field. Every sector he just does not give anybody a look in.
I'm interested as well with Sam, because normally you'd say, but he'd have taken out some performance from his Michelin tyres coming through the field. I don't think he has. There's not been a whole host of scrapping now. He's behind Marcus Vento at the moment for 3rd in Dark Horse. Now, he might have to work a bit harder here, and Alex Bashura's right behind him, who is... Bashura's behind him, so something's happened there. So that is for 3rd now. Also hearing that Alfonso Diaz for Tech Sport is in the spare car from Spark Performance, who is racing in the championship in the shape of Alex Bashura. So that's classy as well in terms of team cooperation in the paddock, because they are actually in a championship, very close championship battle there.
Classy move from Sam Paley. Up into 3rd he goes, past Marcus Vento, so he dispatched with Bashura on the way into hurry downs, and then took about half a lap longer, and then through he goes. He's now just put 2 or 3 car lengths immediately as they go down the Marine sweep towards turn 5. So Paley's up to 3rd. I mean, this is what a performance. I mean, don't forget though, Sam Paley won both races here last year in this championship.
He likes this place. Alex Bashura not content with leading and potentially winning the Dark Horse and making it a double for the weekend, wants to be closer to another overall podium finish. He's riding high in the overall championship at the moment. He's absolutely bossing the Dark Horse Legends, Peter, but his overall championship position is exemplary.
He's the Mustang boss, isn't he, in the Dark Horse Legends? Yes. I think we're running out of superlatives for Alex Bashura, because just because you're in the Dark Horse Legends, you are automatically in Dark Horse as well. It works, it works that direction, but you can't be in Dark Horse Legends if you're not at a certain level of life experience. So Alex Bashura, the oral surgeon, proving that he can mix it with the pros here. Amazing stuff, and that's what this championship offers, is that opportunity to go in and fight with some established stars, and indeed some real up and coming talent, that's exactly what Alex Bashura's done, and not just this weekend. He's done it all season. Robert
Noaker with a 1.2 second lead that he has amassed since the safety car pulled in. I've got a warning for incident responsibility, and it goes to Alfonso Diaz with a little bit of nip and tuck with Scott Thompson from LAP Motorsport. Just a warning for Alfonso at the moment. Been kept a close eye on by race control.
Bashura's got the move done. He's got a great run out the final corner and back up into 4th position over Marcus Vento. Amazing stuff from Alex Bashura, but watch out for Zachary Lee, who's just 1 car behind this pair, and he of course is in the Dark Horse Legends as well, so Bashura can't afford to have his cake and eat it too much here. I'm sure he's having an absolute ball battling away for this overall position as we head towards half race distance, and Sam Paley is on the back of Devin Anderson for 2nd position.
So Bashura now up into 4th overall. Big sideways slide coming into the braking area for Tate Pritt, the number 98, white with the red and blue stripes. He is having a scrap with Corbin Collins for 7th and 8th. That's 5th and 6th in Dark Horse. But at the front of the field, it's all about Robert Neuicker, who's leading now by 2.5 seconds, and the charge of Sam Paley, who's with Devin Anderson, Tech Sport versus Paley Motorsport. In fact, of course, that's the Robert Neuicker Racing spare chassis that's in 3rd position at the moment. Neuicker through the dust, down towards the kink, coming out of the far side of the circuit at the carousel.
Neuicker just checking out, absolutely checking out at the front of the field. And I tell you what, if you're an IMSA GTD team that's got a Mustang GTD on order and you need a silver driver, well, Robert Neuicker is still an FIA silver. I would get him in there while he's still an FIA silver, because the pace he is showing, wow. I mean, surely you've got to be thinking with it, he's just imperious in this championship. I mean, the best lap, Sam Paley said his personal best last lap, 2:18.6. Last lap, 2:17.8 for Neuicker. I mean, he's in another county compared to everybody else, has been all year. And I think if you're an IMSA team and you've got a Mustang on order, I think some of them do, well, why not give this young man a call?
There he goes, round the outside, Sam Paley into turn 1 and dispatches Devin Anderson. And again, it's a super clean move. He was behind him for a little over a lap. And now, write this down somewhere, 3.5 seconds, the gap between Sam Paley and Robert Neuicker, 18.5 minutes to go. The battle between Alex Bashura and Marcus Vento was getting pretty heavy as well a few minutes ago. Alex has got through in the number 33. It was not without some hard racing. So Marcus Vento at that point in 4th position, defending pretty hard. But okay, that was all fine. Defended to the inside at turn 1, dropped the Michelin onto the grass and round the outside for Alex Bashura to take that position. And that's 4th position now, and the lead with Zachary Lee not that far behind, under 2 seconds behind, but with Marcus Vento between them, and that's the key thing there for Alex Bashura in that Spark Performance number 33, Peter. He's got 1 car cover between himself and the next Legends driver.
That's vitally important cover, yes. And Bashura is pulling away in 4th position overall. Likewise, Sam Paley over Devin Anderson in 2nd position overall. Very impressive, I mean hugely impressive from Sam Paley from the back of the grid, from the 9th row of the grid up into 2nd. But I think, you know what, I think he'd quite like to see that Dark Horse safety car come out again and set up a shootout for the run to the flag. 3.5
seconds it was. We might as well, whilst we're talking about Sam Paley, also give you the Ford Performance team update. We've picked 3 teams today with a single car. Paley Motorsport, the number 26, Sam Paley. Well, we've documented his rise through the field with the Robert Neuicker spare car, which is why he's not in his usual colourway. Then we go back to the number 98 of Tate Pritt of Automatic Racing in 8th position. Another white with the Mustang on the side. Galloping Mustang on the side, looks fabulous, that car. 8th position for him. And one of the Dark Horse Legends holding down 3rd place in Dark Horse Legends, 10th overall, 9th overall now for Torre Racing, and Paolo Salvatore in the crosswords checkered car, the number 84 for Torre Racing. That's our for performance team profile for the 3 cars today. Thought it'd be nice to look at some of the teams who are only fielding a singleton entry. Robert Noaker, one of the super teams really here. R&R, not only Robert, a Ford junior driver, but putting his not inconsiderable success in IMSA competition down through the years, and some of the prize money to good use with his own team, and R&R becoming a force here in Ford Mustang Challenge.
And that's the benefit, isn't it? Because if you're, this is a championship where drivers are looking to come in but maybe don't want to buy their own car, or want to rent a car from a team, or indeed buy their own car, and are looking for which team to run the car. Well, if you've got one team with the guy that's dominating with his name above the door, you want to see what the secret sauce tastes like.
Yeah.
You want to see how to set these cars up, saying what is he doing that everyone else isn't, and if you're in that awning, you've got a much better chance of picking up on it. So that has a commercial value as well for Robert Noaker Racing, for Robert Noaker himself to be dominating the championship like he is.
That's a very good point, Peter Mackay, who's alongside me, John Hindhaugh, in the Ford Performance Global Broadcast Centre this Sunday morning, as we're coming up to a little before 5 minutes to 9 Central Time on the final day of this festival of sports car racing, the newly named Motul Sports Car Grand Prix weekend. New partnership between Road America and Motul. Been used to seeing them in the series on a variety of cars, but also Motul Petit Le Mans, of course. And congratulations once again to everybody here at Road America for putting on a brilliant event. Very user-friendly, spectator-friendly circuit. As Peter Mackay was saying earlier on, attracting a family audience. Many people have come up from Milwaukee or Chicago. And good morning to Marty Keck and the whole family.
It's wonderful to see effectively the return of the Road America 500 as well, with the new 6-hour race from next year. It basically following the path of that Road America 500 miles or 500 kilometre race, which traces a long way back, basically to the earliest days of sports car racing in the United States. And you look down the list of the people that have won it, it's the who's who of sports car racing, both in drivers and brands as well. So super to see Road America getting that back again on the IMSA schedule for 2026.
And with the potential of a Ford prototype coming to IMSA at some stage in the future, not straight away. They're going to go and ply their trade in the World Endurance Championship first of all. And we're still waiting for the announcement of when the as yet unnamed Ford prototype, we don't know what it's going to be called yet either, but that will be in to Le Mans and the World Endurance Championship next year, so we'll be getting a look at that. Very interested to see. It's been a very closely guarded secret, and I've got to say it's impressive that they've managed not to have anybody taking pictures of it, any leaked footage, etc.
Running a tight ship, clearly, because nowadays everybody has a camera in their pocket.
That's a good point, yeah.
It can, no matter where it is, it's so difficult. I mean, when a car is within the development walls, I remember speaking to an engineer from a different manufacturer about this. I said, how do you keep these race cars a secret? He said, well, when it's being developed and it's within the walls of the factory, everybody has an access card, and it can be kept under wraps. But he says as soon as it hits a racetrack, it's game over, because there's always somebody going to be there that spots it.
Well, even Ferrari, who have their own test track at Fiorano, which is a fabulous, if tight and twisty facility. Testing a Formula One car there is not for the faint-hearted, and I know as I've been there. But even that is overlooked at various places, and the mad keen Ferrari fans of both Formula One and sports car racing, the Tifosi, they're out there, they're climbing trees, etc., trying to get a shot of their heroes and the cars that their heroes are testing. Same for big manufacturers who have ties to or own various racetracks. I'm thinking of the Japanese manufacturers in particular. Fuji and Suzuka both have ties to major manufacturers. It is, as soon as you go out in public, that's it. We were watching the gap, Peter, weren't we? It was 3.5 seconds when Sam Paley got by Devin Anderson into second. He's not dropped Devin Anderson at all. Devin in the number 22 red, white and black tech sport car still at just about a second, whilst Robert Noaker has pulled the pin, and the last 4 or 5 laps he's been at least 5 or 6 tenths up to a full second last time around faster than the 2 chasing Ford Mustang Dark Horse R's, as if Robert Noack was almost waiting to see if Sam Paley would get through, and has been told by the team, right, you might have to push on a little bit here, and he's just opened the taps a little bit more and he's gone.
Well, I think it just replicates what we've seen all the way through free practice and in qualifying, where Robert Noaker has, and it's quite astounding to say this in the modern era, has had over a second in the pocket over everybody all weekend, which we very rarely say that in any category, in a spec class as well. Yes, very good point. So, you know, it's pretty incredible. And throughout the race, when Sam Paley's had clean air, he's been very consistently, you know, mid-219s, very strong pace. It's just that Noaker has been well in the 18s and a couple in the 17s, and that's been the difference. He's just got that edge over the field.
And what that tells you, and you were talking about teams further up the IMSA ladder into GT4, GT3, and this is why he's part of the Ford Junior programme as well. But what that tells me is, having had to survive 2 safety car restarts, the original start at the beginning, he has still managed to hold some performance in his Michelin tyres. These 45-minute races are getting on for what is a stint in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship in a GT car, possibly a little bit less. But there's an element of tyre management that has to be considered by the drivers. You start off heavy with the racing fuel. That burns off, so you are putting a little less through the tyres, but Noack, it seems to be able to do that quite easily. Oh, now black flag being shown for Scott Thompson in the LAP. What are we calling that? Is that green or is it blue?
I think it's spearmint.
It's beautiful colour. I really like that colour.
Me too.
He has had a little bit of an incident that has shaken loose the rear bumper. He's going down to turn 5 now, and he's been asked to come into the pit lane. Actually, it's the black and orange flag that he has been shown. What is called here in the States the meatball flag, black flag with an orange disc in the middle. It means that you must come to the pit lane at the next opportunity. It's the one flag that you aren't allowed to ignore. You can have a bit of a warning about a penalty for a drive-through, a bit of an argument, go 3 times past the start-finish line, but if you get the black and orange flag, you have to come in. Full course yellow!
Oh,
and
wow.
This is for debris on the track down at the exit of the kink, and I suspect that's part of Scott Thompson's rear under tray. And this will be quick. This will be very quick. It's in the dust somewhere out there. I'm suspecting that's part of Scott's tail end, just coming out of the carousel and heading down towards the kink. It's quite a big bit of the under tray there, Peter. The flag that is out there, the orange and red stripe flag, which you would normally see for fluid on the circuit, and quite a lot of people say that's the oil or the liquid flag. It is actually properly, if you look at the regulations, it is for something on the track that shouldn't be there. And the rest of the bumper's fallen off at turn 14, so that's going to have to be picked up as well. I've got a feeling that Scott Thompson's going to be invited to the race director's office for a meeting without coffee or biscuits, because I don't think that they will be overly enamoured. He's just pulled into the pit lane. Question will be, did he go past the pits once already. He's been off the track, which is what's shaking everything loose. There's some left front splitter damage as well.
I don't think he'll be invited for coffee and biscuits to Robert Noaker Racing either, because that is the last thing in the world that Robert Noaker wanted to see in that number 13 car, with a huge lead, over 7 seconds in the bag, 5 minutes to go. Caution comes out, and you think, what do I have to do? Sam Paley, meanwhile, will be absolutely chuckling at the top of his voice, going, this is just Christmas Day for me. I think what might well happen, John, by the time everyone's bunched behind the safety car, it could be a one-lap shootout.
Yeah.
Which is ideal for Sam Paley in second place.
He'll get one shot at it down to turn 1, but his spot is turn 5. So that would be my guess. So, drama with under 5 minutes to go. The safety car will pick them up across the line. This time, they're actually quite a long way around. They might have to hustle a little bit here, Peter. Lights are out on the safety car. I'm not sure the safety car, Robert Noaker, actually even got to the back of the safety car, but the rather sensible decision from race control is we are going back green at the end of this lap, I think. So we'll get 2 laps, I think, Peter, with a 2 minutes 17, 2 minutes 20 lap. There'll be this one coming to the green flag now, and then the white flag next round. So with a car that's going to finish its season and a series that's going to finish its season on the road circuit at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we are getting a green-white checker finish to race 2 here at America's National Park of Speed. And again, Noaker gets on the accelerator nice and early, but Sam Paley was wise to it. Noaker weaving right and left, trying to break the toe, but Paley's there. Devin Anderson not that far back either. Green flag, it's a 2-lap dash for the points, and the honour round the outside from Paley. He's not really going to get there, but he'll do the cutback down the inside. We've seen him overtake into turn 3 at the bottom of the hill. That's what he's trying to do again. He's on the quarter panel of the leader, Noaker. Here he comes, but no, drops back in. He takes the better line. Now, turn 5. He's got this lap and one more. Looks like Alex Bashura. No, it wasn't Alex Bashura. It was Sandy Sotelo, I think, who's back up into the top 6. He went a little bit wide there and onto the grass in the number 7 car. Recovers. Noaker is wise to Paley, goes down the left-hand side of the track. That'll allow the cut back here. And there's a little nudge on Paley from Devin Anderson as he missed his braking point by a foot or so. Might have cost Sam Paley an opportunity into turn number 6. Flat out through 7. Next overtaking point down the Hurry Downs, into turn number 8. But I don't think, Peter, that Paley's quite there yet.
No, he's putting himself in the right position. He's just Noaker's just too good on the brakes. Just went wide there for Paley. That's going to cost some time, surely. Coming out of turn 8 and into 9, just dipped a couple of wheels on the grass. That cost a bit of momentum as they come round the carousel, and that's given Noaker a very, very valuable car length or so. Just the tiniest of errors can make such a difference, but still a lap and a half to go.
Tom Geistkamper is only 6 hours drive away from this track, and he's not here. He says, I have no excuse, except he's married. It's a lovely place. Bring the other half, have a weekend away, some great places to eat, and then you can enjoy this close quarters racing at first hand. Start planning for next year for the 6-hour race for this event at the Motul Sports Car Grand Prix. It will be the white flag this time, and that little mistake from Sam Paley may have taken away any chance he had. Not sure how much he did have with Robert Noaker's pace anyway, Peter, but at the line it's 1.3 seconds, and Noaker now has just got to hit his marks. I think if I was him, I'd be knocking the rear view mirror to look at the ceiling. I don't want to know what's behind me. Just drive his own lap this time around. Lap at multiple track limits for Devin Anderson. Final warning in 3rd position for the number 22 Tech Sport driver. So that may yet play a part in the finishing order.
We need to get a heart rate monitor on Robert Noaker, because it appears he doesn't seem to feel pressure, because every time we've had a restart, he's just pulled away like it's not any big deal at all.
Well, he had some pressure on that last one. That's as much as anybody's put on him, certainly this weekend. But Sam just made that tiny little mistake coming in through turn 8 into the carousel, and he's not been able to recover from that. And right now, he's under pressure for second position. By the way, I'm hearing from the team that Robert Noaker's heart rate is a steady 42 beats per minute. Never changes all through the whole race.
Mine's higher than that when I sleep.
Yeah, me too. I've got the resting heartbeat rate of a hummingbird when it's hovering. So Robert Noaker, cool, calm, and collecting another win here, unless he makes a mistake in the next 4 corners. You just can't see it, though. Even with the vagaries, even with the oddities, the drama that IMSA Racing and the Ford Performance Mustang Challenge has brought down this second season of racing. Only its second season, remember, only its second season, and multiple track limits for the Dark Horse Challenge leader, the Dark Horse Legends leader. Bashura is going to get 10 seconds, and that's going to cost him the win here, because Alfonso Diaz in second. What a recovery drive and redemption drive that is. He's only 4 seconds behind, I reckon, possibly 5. We'll work that out at the line, because the Alcamel system will do that for us. So drama right at the end for the 4th place car leading Dark Horse Legends, leading the race, and it's another clean sweep. Pole, fastest lap, win for Robert Noaker. I might as well record that and put it on a loop for the end of these races. Robert Noaker extends his championship lead again. Drive of the day, Sam Paley in second place, got to be a contender. From the back of the grid in a borrowed Robert Noaker racing car, is through to second, with Devin Anderson holding on to the 3rd spot in the Dark Horse. Across the line in 4th was Alex Bashura, but that penalty will take him all the way down to 12th position and 5th in Dark Horse Legends. That's when a late race caution doesn't help you, Peter, if you've got a penalty. And so Alfonso Diaz will win Legends after a horrible day for him yesterday in another borrowed car, remember. That Tech Sport driver, that was superb from the whole paddock to pitch in and make sure we got 19 cars out. Zachary Lee takes second in the McCumbee McAleer Racing Silver Bullet number 48, and Tom Tate for Competition Motors in 3rd. So Alex Bashura crossing the line, the number 33, to win Dark Horse Legends, but it was the number 15 of Alfonso Diaz who will stand on the top step after that 10-second penalty. Drama and excitement all the way to the end, and the green-white-checker finish. Still, Robert Noaker is unbeaten this season.
We run out of words to describe Robert Noaker's brilliance. What I am super intrigued to follow for the rest of the season is, can he win every race? I mean, it's something very, very rare in motorsport to be able to sweep an entire season. But I honestly believe it is one of the best chances you'll get to see that. It's just the edge he seems to have over everyone, and he has the pace when needed. And it's just so impressive. So impressive for Robert Noaker.
So Spark Performance, by the way, donating the car to Alfonso Diaz, and that's cost them some points there with that penalty for their driver, Alex Bashura. That was very classy from them. So, unofficial results, the top 3 unaffected by that penalty, with Robert Noaker continuing his season sweep from Sam Paley, who drove up through the field, and Devin Anderson, who was pushing all the way to the end to get back in second place. Sandy Satulo with a bit of a redemption drive from the incident yesterday, turn 1, lap 1. Marcus Vento in 5th, Corbin Collins in 6th, and Tate Pritt the 7th and the last of the first tranche of the Dark Horse cars. Confirmation then that Alfonso Diaz takes Dark Horse legends from Zach Lee and Tom Tate with that 10-second penalty for Alex Bashura. That dropped him all the way down to 12th position and 5th in class behind Paolo Salvatore. Then it was Drew Neubai, Stephen Viger, Joe Daedrix, Doug Peterson, Scott Thompson with problems, as did Nick Smithers and Colin Harrison not making the start. We're on another beautiful circuit in the green and pleasant land of Virginia International Raceway for our next race weekend. Can't wait for that one. Another fast flowing circuit. Peter Mackay, some final thoughts about Robert Nuyeke and the weekend.
Quite amazing. Quite amazing. I mean, like I say, I just want to see if he's able to sweep the whole season now, because he's just imperious at the moment. And yeah, it's you can see exactly why Ford Performance have picked him to be part of this junior program.
Peter Mackay was alongside me, John Hindhaugh. Thanks to Alyssa, our voice in the ears from Concord. We'll be back in VIR, but don't go away. There's more to come from Road America this Sunday.